Hi everyone. So today in this video, we'll be covering a few frequently asked questions on the ICT visa. Now, if you don't know what the ICT visa is, I have made a few other videos that explains the ICT visa in quite detail, and I will leave the links to those videos in the description below for you to check out. Now, I'm going to be making a series of videos on the frequently asked questions, and in today's video I'm just going to be covering 4 important questions because each question I need to spend some time answering them. So hopefully through the series all of your questions on the ICT visa will be clarified. But in addition to that, if you have any questions, you can always leave us a comment below or you can send us an email. There are several ways that you can get in touch with us, which I will be talking about today as well. The first question is, do I have to physically stay in Canada while on the ICT visa? Now, there is no simple answer to this question, so let me answer this question in stages, okay? The first stage is you are given an ICT visa for an initial timeline of 1 year. Okay, then any more extensions is based on if you have met the requirements of the program, and I've discussed these requirements in detail in my other videos. So now, if you have to leave Canada in that first 1 year period, okay, say you have to go back for 2 months to your parent organization, or you're sent, say, from Canada to New Zealand for visiting a client site, but you're still engaged actively in the business, you can recapture that time back. Now, what I mean by that is, say if you are a senior executive, you can get extensions on your visa for up to 7 years. And I've discussed this as well in my previous video. Now, in the 7 years, if you have spent, say, 2 months in a year, okay, in another country that is outside of Canada, you can recapture that time. At the end of the 7 years, you can apply for something called an extension, with which you would get 7 times 2, 14 months extensions for you to stay back in Canada or for you to be continuing on the ICT visa. Now, in that 14-month extension at the end of your 7 years, if you decided to spend time outside of Canada, then you really cannot capture any time back from that 14-month period. So it is only allowed for the first 7 years for executives and the first 5 years for specialized knowledge workers. And another thing you have to remember is any time spent outside of Canada under 30 days will not be considered for recapture. So if you want to really recapture time at the end of your 5 and a 7 year period, you will have to have worked outside of Canada for over 30 days. So now let's get to our next question. So I had a call with a client, I think 2 weeks ago, that asked me, well, I have really not worked full time for my company, but I am one of their specialized workers. Will I get the ICT visa? Again, there is no straightforward answer to this question. It all depends on the discretion of the officer and in the way that we present your case. It depends on how long you've worked with this company and especially what specialized skill do you have which this company needs, and what has been your part-time work. Is it like 1 or 2 days a week, or is it 4 days a week, or you've worked 5 days a week but less number of hours? They look at the whole picture. It's just not like, okay, you have not worked part-time, so you're rejected. It doesn't work like that. If you have a genuine case, because they always check for how genuine the application is, because they just want to make sure that this ICT visa is not being used in the wrong sense. Just for the sake of coming to Canada, you're, cooking up a story that you're working for the company. So as long as you have a genuine case, you have worked with a company, you're able to show that you have provided value add to the company, and you have been, highly crucial for the company and all that, definitely the officer would see that. And in these cases, it's extremely important that the whole profile, the whole case is very well put together. Now for the next question. For someone who's already here on an ICT visa and they would like to bring one of their specialized workers from their home country to Canada Do they need an office space here, or can this specialized person work from home? This is a question that I want to, be absolutely clear. When you initially come to Canada as a senior executive, there is definitely a requirement that eventually you need to get an office space, but initially you can use your counsel's address, your lawyer's address as your office space, and that's totally fine. But when your business grows to a level where you are bringing a specialized worker, that is, you're not bringing another executive, it's just a specialized worker you're bringing in, you definitely and most certainly need to have an office space, because if you're not proving that you have an office space, your ICT visa will be rejected. There are a multitude of reasons for why this is the case, and I'm not going to get into that in this video, but definitely make sure that you do need an office space. You do need to have an office space if you are bringing one of your specialized workers. So let's get to the next and the final question here. What is the current timeline for processing the ICT visa? Before the pandemic, ICT visas were processed in 2 to 3 weeks, believe it or not. But now the demand for this program has gone up significantly, and the processing times are a little bit longer. It could take 3 to 4 months for your visa to get processed. Now, I could definitely say 2 months because we've had clients where it's been processed in just 2 months, but I want to make sure that I'm giving you a very fair and a very reasonable estimate. So it could take anything from 3 to 4 months, just so you can plan you can be well prepared and know what to expect. Thank you again for tuning in and watching this video. Hopefully you found it helpful and it helped answer some of your questions. Now, we do plan to make a series of videos with frequently asked questions, especially on the ICT visa. So stay tuned in, subscribe to our channel so you get notified as soon as those videos are out. And if you have any specific questions that you want us to cover in our subsequent videos, please leave it in the comments below. I look forward to hearing from all of you, and I wish you good luck.